What's up, guys? Let's get ready to rumble. I wanted to do that intro because I just remembered one of the tournaments I played as a junior. It just came to my mind right now, and it was actually the final match. As I finished the last point, as I won it, as I won the tournament, I screamed from the top of my lungs. And that's exactly what I said. Let's get ready to rumble, but as hard as I could. And I remember some people were like laughing and stuff, but I was like so emotional. It just came out of me, and it was a super long match, like 3 hours, and it was kind of like, so what? It's the final, and I just won the final match, 3 hours, but I'm just starting. It's kind of like that. I was still like a kid, a teenager, and a little bit wanting to show some power or whatever. That like I'm just warmed up. But anyways, welcome to another live stream here on Instagram. What's up, everybody? Instagram. What's up, YouTube? Where are we at? Where are you? Where are you now? Let me know here in the chat. Where are you on YouTube? I would like to see this worldwide web, the connection we have. And after that, you're welcome to ask any questions, suggest any topics, and maybe even you can suggest some ideas you have for the future videos. I would like to listen. I would like to get inspired by you guys, both for YouTube long term, for YouTube long form videos, and also Instagram shorter form. So that will be really nice. All right, we have Colombia. What's up? Back in tennis from Colombia. Hong Kong. What's up, Jim? I see you. I see you. 15 cups of tea near London. How's everything in London? I just remember another how to say anecdote, or it's a joke, completely off the topic here. We're kind of stepping out of tennis talk, but just because I saw London, when the British guy arrives to New York, and he goes into some ghetto area, and he sees like a few guys there in the neighborhood, like those a little bit sketchy guys, suspicious guys, and one of them asks him, "Did you come here to die?" And then he goes, "No, I came here yesterday." I don't know. Maybe it's not funny, but it's kind of showing the difference in the accents and possible misunderstandings. Raining in London, yeah, that's what it happens in Britain. It's a very cloudy area. All right, bad accent. Sorry. What can I do? Fingers crossed for Sundays next week. Queens WTA starts. Sounds good. All right. What about YouTube? It feels very passive over there. Come on, guys. Let's step up. Any questions, guys? I would like to mention, of course, the current situation, the current stage of Roland Garros from the men's side. I apologize. I'm not following too much the women's side. Probably should. The only thing I saw was the Sabalenka's dancing when she goes down the stairs. That's all I saw. And what else? I saw some highlights from Coco Goff's match, but honestly, I don't know. I don't know what's the situation there. But anyways, for men's guys, the semifinalists. So I guess you are kind of updated on that, and I'd like to hear a few opinions, or if you have some questions, what can we talk about? Predict Roland Garros winners. Again, I can only do so for men's. For women's, it's very tough. I have no idea. Maybe I can say Sabalenka. Not sure. For men's, we have Djokovic playing Sinner. right? That's one semifinals, and then we have Musetti against Alcaraz. Honestly, I would like to predict the final where Djokovic plays Alcaraz in like incredible 5-set match where Djokovic wins like 7-5 in fifth, something like that. That's the first thought that came to my mind. I know it's very, 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 very close to being impossible, but you cannot put Novak into this bracket, or like, how to say, the box of impossible things, right? I think anything is possible there. So yeah, that's my prediction. What do you think about Nola versus Sinner? As I just said, I want to predict. I want, right? So and now the reality maybe what we want and what is the reality, but I would really want to see him go through, and it's possible. I I would say therefore, yeah, that Nole wins in 4 sets, 3-1, and I believe if it goes five, it will be tough for Nole. I think that's just my opinion here. So he can either win in 3 sets and possibly in 4 sets against Sinner. The final is kind of special. I always see finals as some different kind of games. It's always very special occasion, especially in these big tournaments, and Nole is so experienced there. Of course, it's Alcaraz on clay. Let's see. It's hard. It's really kind of it's not easy to talk about these things. It's so relative, right? And it also depends on the day, depends on the weather. Is it gonna be faster conditions, slower? So yeah, Djokovic's drop shot, then lob volley combination was good yesterday. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a good combination, and it's a good tactics to combat Zverev's like physique and his movement on the baseline. So pulling him inside, and then I think kind of breaks his rhythm there. Anyways, what are your predictions? Let's see what you guys say. And what is the final match? Who will play finals, and what is the score? Did I play professionally? Yes, I would say yes. It also depends how you define that. I would say being a professional means like that your all your income, whatever you're living off, is coming from tennis. In that regard, it was kind of relative, because when you just play those futures and challengers in the beginning, it's very hard to cover all the expenses. But I was earning in that way. That was my only income for this like couple of years, and kind of trying to build my way through. But it's so difficult without a bigger investment, without having somebody at least on the team. I was doing most things on my own, which was really, really tough. But yeah, I would say I was a professional. Marcus, thank you so much for representing YouTube. Marcus, hey, 10 fit. I'm 10 fit man, but okay. I have a tournament next week that I'll play a lower level bracket because of my calendar. Any tips for playing with weaker players? Thanks so much, Marcus from YouTube. And yeah, I would like to know, where are you at? Where are you from, Marcos? Sounds like some Latino country, Marcos. Let me answer. It's a great question, because very often we tend to underperform when we play against weaker players, and this is so common. So we match our level to the level of the opponent. So if they're higher level, we can play better. If they're similar, if they're lower, I would say you just completely forget about the opponents, and you should just think about what is happening on your side of the court, what are you doing, and what will be ideal style that you want to do. What is your ideal game? And maybe even this is even better advice, I would say. This is your chance to experiment and to maybe build up your game, to add more elements. So, and this is for everybody now. I think it's a good way of thinking when you have a match against somebody who is weaker, maybe lower ranked. But guys, don't underestimate your opponents. Okay, please make sure that you are always playing the same way and you're always respecting whatever is the level. You show up at 100%. But here's my point: there is a chance, right? If you already started and you feel okay, this is kind of comfortable match, you still don't want to relax too much, but I think that that is a chance for you to work on new shots and develop some parts of the game that you maybe haven't had a chance to work on. For example, serving and volleying, or doing more drop shots, playing more drop shots, doing more unpredictable, how to say, producing more unpredictable shots, trying to surprise the opponent, and yeah, adding variations to your game. I think that's a great opportunity when you have this kind of matches. And in terms of being afraid of underperforming or like trying not to lose because it's embarrassing, absolutely. If you have this kind of thoughts, it's kind of not normal. It sometimes happen. You're okay to have the thought, and you just immediately kind of switch the thought and switch your mindset towards the let's use this chance to kind of build my game and experiment the shot. And of course, I'm gonna be on top of this player. I'm the favorite, and I'm gonna take charge. But I'm also gonna have fun and try new things. Marcos, I hope that gives you some idea. And yeah, let me know how it goes. If you have some highlights there, some cool shots, let us know how it goes. You're welcome. Do we have some other question here on Instagram? And guys, if you want to join here, please send a request and I will let you in on Instagram so you can share the screen here and ask a question. And we have somebody predicting Sabalenka. Okay. Sinner Alcaraz in the final. Alcaraz winning. I can see that potentially as well, but it really depends on the day. On the day. Hey Milan from Arv, your backend tips were gold and helped me get stability. Looking forward to more tips from you. Absolute gold of fine, fine content. So happy to hear that and appreciate your feedback. Means the world, because if anything I would like to accomplish, that is exactly this, to kind of help you guys. And usually the tips I share are those that I applied for myself, and most of them helped me tremendously. So every time you hear something, it's not going to be random. It's always something that I know it worked well, either with me or with some of the players I had. Very rarely I would share something that I never experienced, never tried, and I'm not sure if it works. So yeah, I hope you guys kind of understand that, and that therefore you also take all these tips. Don't want to say seriously, but with a strong belief. That was my point. Cosmin Jitsa, we have a little bit problem with the connection on Instagram. Not sure if YouTube looks fine right now, but let's see. I think the final would be Sinner against Alcaraz. As much as I want Nolet to win the semifinal, I see it almost impossible just because Sinner is playing at different speed. Partially agreed, yeah. But again, never ever count out Novak. The only way Novak can beat Sinner is just the the pressure of important moment, key points. as Noah is the most experienced player at the top in the moment. Yes. Post footwork videos, please. Okay, thank you so much. We have a request on Instagram. Let's see. Satu. Okay, I'm gonna accept and let's see if you join with us. If you join us. And Marcos, yeah, try new tricks, develop your game, and become more unpredictable. Become a player that is hard to read. I think that's one of the best traits of the good players. Of course, you can be like very solid player that everybody knows their game and you're just so solid, rock solid. But isn't it more fun if you are unpredictable? If your shots are, what is the word? I don't want to say unpredictable again. If your shots are hard to read, and if they give your opponents nightmare, something like that, or if they can surprise them like almost every point, that would be great. So that's also sometimes the way I like to play, surprise them and do something that is not expected, and it's so fun because you don't know, you yourself will not know what will happen. So every time there is a different situation, a different sequence of shots. I think that's amazing. So let's see if we can utilize that. We can apply that. This disguising shots. Yeah, disguising shots. I posted recently some videos about the forehand disguised slice, and then together with that, you can do the drop shot. I think that's cool. All right, I'm waiting for any other questions, guys. I will give you a few more minutes, and then it's my time for dinner. So let's see if you have some question or any comment. We can go there. We can expand that topic. There's always this kind of suggestion or the question I like to ask everybody here, and that is, what is the thing that gave you trouble in your recent match or in some of the recent matches? What was the problem? What prevented you not just from winning, but from executing certain shots or playing the way you want it? What is the obstacle that stands between current you, current you here, and then the you that you kind of aim to become and you kind of working towards to it, either in the match in one point or just in general? So what is that problem? I think this is a good way to approach, and I think from there, if we attack this problem, then we can come up with a solution. Do you remember when you played with Nola in Shanghai? I was behind you. What a beautiful time. Wow. Yes, of course I remember. I don't remember you, but Acrivus Pepino, definitely one of the best trainings I had, especially yeah here in Shanghai. It was amazing. Yeah. Mm, positioning on court. So this is the problem, right? I guess you're answering my question here. Positioning on court, that's a good one because this requires a lot of experience, right? A lot of matches, but not just that, also kind of understanding, learning how to read the game, how to read the opponent, their shots. Try to watch the pros, which you already do, right? We all kind of watch the matches, but watch with different eyes. Watch the player. I do this sometimes, even though like I'm curious to see the shots, and you want to be in the moment, you want to feel. But sometimes I just zone in, or maybe just watch the replays, because when you watch a live match, it's kind of like almost, it's ungrateful how to say, if you just look at their footwork and then you want to see what's going on in the point. But you can watch replays or different matches there, players positioning related to the ball, to the situation. What is happening? Is the other player attacking? Is it the cross court battle? Do they change how they recover? And not just left right. Watch how they move in and out. So you kind of want to become aware of the whole space. So there's a baseline, and how you wait for the next shot. Where is your positioning related to the baseline? Watch the pros. Of course, we are not playing on the same level, and our opponents will not hit maybe this kind of difficult shots. Sometimes we're gonna get easier shots in the court, but it's the model. It's something that can help you, especially if you want to improve, if you want to get to the higher level in terms of movement. Watch with different perspective, different eyes, try to see how the pros are moving. I think that's going to help. I'm also doing the same. So, again, I gave you the tip that also helps me in some way. I play good at practice, but once I start playing in tournaments, something is happening in my head. It's not just you, man, my friend. It's everybody, I guess. And I play more safe and I don't let the shot go, so I become more tight. What can I do to relax more? Such a common question, and great that you bring it up. I think almost every live we at least touch on this topic, whereas performing under pressure, and I start like a long list of the things we can do to improve it. But I guess eventually we will start picking up, and I guess you were not there last time, but yeah, every Thursday evening, at least this is the China time, whatever is time at your place, your time zone. Usually I'm every Thursday at this time. We are doing the live here for like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, and we try to answer the questions. So yeah, my point is we almost always kind of cover this. So for the others who are maybe listening and you didn't hear the question, it's about practice performance versus the matches and the tournament performance. And usually practice is high level of performance, and then matches, because of the pressure, we kind of drop in the performance. Very relatable. Also, I was there, and I had many situations where in practice I could play with any level of player, much higher ranked, and we kind of match the level. And in matches, it's kind of more difficult to, like you said, to let the shot go, or to pull the trigger, release the swing, because you're kind of afraid not to miss, exactly as you said, playing more safe. So the mentality, the right approach, I would say the biggest thing is just thinking about why you play and why you are participating in this match and the tournament. What is the big goal? What is the reason behind? But you need to go further back and just think why you're playing this sport. You want to have fun. You want to challenge yourself. Maybe you have some high goal. You want to accomplish certain things, but the main reason is you want to have fun. It's fun. It's challenging. It's engaging. And then you want to. So that's the first thing, why you play, because you enjoy it. It's fun. The second thing is you want to kind of solve this, the problem or the pressure you have, or the fear of missing or of losing. Why do you have it, right? And then you think, even if it happens, even if I lose, even if this goes downhill, if it's one of the worst matches, so what? I believe you should go in that direction with your mind. You have to think it doesn't matter. Either way, whatever happens, you continue your day, you continue your week, and you will play again the next day or whatever. You will train again, you will play another match, not just one match, hundreds of matches. So it doesn't matter. I think it's easy now. I say it's easy to just talk, but I think you start saying this to yourself. You start telling this to yourself, and then Eventually, you're gonna really believe it and accept it that it doesn't matter. So what? So what? If I miss that shot, if I go for it, if I miss, so what? So what? If I lose the match, so what? So that's the second part, right? The second point. The first thing is just go there to have fun. I think that's the big one. Just enjoy it. So I think when your goal is to enjoy it, you shouldn't be afraid too much to miss or to lose, because you want to play something more like exciting. You don't want to play safe. That's not fun. And then so the second part is to just accept it. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, the outcome, it's irrelevant. As long as you are doing your part on the court, you're like, putting effort, you're trying, and you are going for the shots that are reasonable. So you choose the right shot to go for it. And the third thing, let's say for this answer, for this question here, I'll give you the three things. The third thing, have a certain tactics or strategy beforehand, before the match. I know sometimes we are not familiar with the opponent. You can still give yourself a task and challenge yourself. Okay, today I know I don't know the opponent, but I know what I can do and what I can control, which is like, sir, I want to focus on higher first serve percentage. If that doesn't work, I will work on my like stronger second serves. I will be smart there, and then any chance I have in the middle of the court or slower ball, I'm gonna go around with the forehand. Give yourself a certain task or strategy that will kind of engage you and make you more, how to say, like you're in this game. And then I think that's also more exciting, and you're not just playing not to lose and trying to just hit the ball in, but you have a strategy and you really want to commit. And then you can also be flexible there with telling yourself, I also want to add on this strategy during the match. Let's see how I can adjust. And when you see the opponent more, when you get to know them, you can add certain shots. When you see maybe they are slower, when they move to their back end, when it's shorter ball for whatever reason, then you can add that shot in the game. So giving that challenge or a task to yourself, I think it's also helping you to release that tension, and it's going to be more liberating. And then of course we always have the breathing routines that helps to kind of right, to unlock all those, whatever they call this, like mental blocks. If we are too excited and nervous, the breathing and the heart rate becomes random. So the consistent breathing puts that more in place into the rhythm, and that unclogs these mental blocks, and then it should be more smooth. Like you should also play at a higher level, just by default, if you breathe like that. And yeah, having some routines on the court, when you the way you serve, the way you're waiting for the return or getting the towel during the changeovers, have some familiar routines. I think that should help. You see, every time when I get this kind of question, I just give a long list, but I think these are important things. Okay, now in Paris. Love your content from Lebanon. Wow, thank you so much. Big, big tennis hug from Shanghai to Lebanon. How can I play on hard versus players that hit ball early? How can I respond to that? That's a good one. Great question. I think you already asked. Let's see if somebody else. Your videos are very, very nice. Thank you so much from Brazil. Wow, one of my destination on the list that I have to visit, and some other places in South America. It's so amazing. I would really like to go there. The question about fast balls on hard courts, you have to shorten up your swings. You can practice that with your training partner, so the coach. Work on the flat fast balls and make sure you have a quick turn, short short swing, right? And then staying low as you hit, staying low. Of course, when they move you, it's not easy. You're gonna be like on the run, so you want to make sure you have as much balance as you can, even on the run, and trying to shorten up your swings. And you might want to try to change a bit the rhythm if you see they really like to play early. So you might hit some slices to change the pace of the ball, maybe some drop shots. So try to experiment again, become more unpredictable. No one does if you lose a match. Okay, not sure about that. I think that's about like who cares. Oh, no one dies. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. Along those lines, I just want to share one more thing. It's like a very, very quick story. When I played college tennis, and I struggled, being honest, I struggled for a few semesters with my performance. So much pressure I put on myself, but of course there was a pressure from the university and the coach and stuff, because you have to perform in order to secure your scholarship. So for me, that's the first time that I had to play for such a big thing. It's a huge stake, because if you don't deserve it, I was not able to afford this scholarship, and then it's like, what then? So it's like so much pressure, and everybody knew, including coaches, that in trainings I can play with the best players in the team equally, and then in the matches I would underperform. And then what they arranged for me was the like a sports psychologist, right, to just go for this session and talk about things. I was not really happy about it that it was arranged, but of course I wanted to do whatever I can, whatever they offer, and whatever they think it's helpful. So I visited this psychologist, a sports psychologist, a few times in this kind of a very quiet setting, very comfortable, cozy sofa, right? It's like in the movies. I think they he even had like a little fountain there. It's so peaceful, almost like meditation stuff. And if one thing I remember from this, maybe it's the only the only thing I remember that we talked about in these few sessions, it's exactly this mindset. It doesn't matter. He actually gave me this acronym, which was like, letter by letter. I forgot what is it. I just know word by word. It's a little bit strong language, but I think he did it on purpose so that it's really like vocal, and that you can be vocal with yourself and you can repeat that. It's something along the lines, it doesn't effing matter, right? It doesn't effing matter. So whatever, so what? And then it's like almost like you play, you have nothing to lose. So what? It helped a bit, I can say. It helped a bit. I was still not performing at my best level. Maybe there are a few matches that I managed, but mostly, yeah, I was a bit struggling there. After 15 years of not playing tennis, what and how should I start? Whew, 15 minutes. Make sure that physically you are there somehow. Get the fundamentals, put in some cardio, get your core right, stretching, flexibility, some reactions. Because without that, I don't know what is your physical state. If you manage to do some sports or trainings, then it's fine. But that's first thing. And then for tennis wise, get the feel of hitting maybe like a mini tennis. Get the feel for the ball, and then some mini cross courts. Play some games. We always do a lot of games, mini tennis, to get the feel. And then first few sessions, maybe just baseline, continuous rallies, rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Feel the ball, right? Make sure you also understand the movements, and then it's up to you how quickly you want to progress into playing full court with serves and returns. Start slowly, give yourself time. All right, guys, I'm running out of fuel. Thanks, Milan. I will try to apply what you said. You're welcome. Much love from Britain, and I will try to join your sessions on Thursdays. Awesome. Thank you so much. Performance comes presence. Performance comes presence, not perfection. I like that. That's pretty good. Wow. Need to think about it, but it's good. Presence, not perfection. Nice. So not expecting too much from yourself, but still aiming high. Always wanting to get better. Great stuff. There's one more comment on YouTube from Nico Vergara. Hi Milan, I'm struggling a lot with my back end recently, and I want to start to improve on detail time. What should I prioritize? My footwork, my arm position, my hips, or something else? I was just about to wrap up. I would like to give one tip for to Nico. It's very difficult for me though without seeing your backend, right? It's hard for me to say where is your problem, but if you ask me very generally like this, it's tough to say one detail at a time. The prioritizing, at least from my perspective, I can again say what helped me a lot was exactly right. You first asked about footwork, so for me it helped a lot. This kind of idea that the way you set up, you want to think more open stance, and you want to go also always with your back foot first to find this position behind the ball. So the ball comes in your mind, you want to stay, you want to get behind the ball, right? You want to find that back foot support, and then you want to step forward to get the full body into the shot. But it's kind of that, in my case, left foot, if you're right-handed, left foot or the back foot first, and then you push up that foot forward. And then you have arm position, hips, something else. Ooh, yeah, I think okay. The big thing, or again, the big thing, we have footwork. I don't talk about the loose wrist, the drop, hips. That can kind of confuse. For me, the big thing is trying to hit, if it's two-handed backhand, closer. You want less space. So back foot, so you get that push, and then trying to get a bit closer to the ball, not being too far. Too far meaning like too far laterally. You don't want the ball to be too far from you. That's where you kind of lose control. Closer, one step closer, right? So when you swing, your arms kind of want to be, you want them to be close to your legs as you swing, and then as you hit, contact slightly in front, and then you kind of extend. Of course, you fully extend. All right, Nico, I hope you were there and hope you heard it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining today again. You're welcome. Also, big hug, big tennis hug for Chile from China and Shanghai. And you all guys have a great day, great evening. Continue to play this game, continue to improve. That's the best feeling, right? When you make some little changes and you feel the progress, and next time you are a slightly better player. So, and again, yeah, you're always welcome. Join every Thursday at this time. We have the live, and if you miss it, you can always send a message, DM me if you have any suggestions for next topics, questions. I try my best to answer if I have a chance. And that's it. Let's go. Keep improving together. I'll see you again in our next live stream next Thursday. Bye bye.